Hello, welcome to SD Game Talk. We break down the Premier League live matches this weekend for week number 3 before the international break. And so we're going to dive in straight to see where we also saw Chelsea winning 2-0 against Fulham. Of course, that was a game that they actually played. They struggled actually a lot in the game and they played absolutely well. I mean, you see Chelsea putting in a lot of effort. Enzo Fernandez and Pedro Neto proving everything, giving all the last fight for Chelsea. And of course, we're going to see as well Estavao, so very incredible in this game. Chelsea beating Fulham 2-0. It's a very good result for them, but still coming to this Premier League issue, Chelsea I still have a lot of doubt for Chelsea if they're going to be title contenders this season. For the past 3 games they've played, I cannot really find some really good dominance, tactic or a way of play coming out from Enzo Maresca. So far, I think I'm going to start believing in Chelsea in the 5th game or so, but I still see them struggling a lot, and they've not yet played any big club. I mean, any very well built up club. So I think they're still going to face a lot of difficulties because. Taking a look at this Chelsea right now, I don't know if they can beat Bournemouth this season. I don't know if they can beat Arsenal. I don't know if they can beat Liverpool. And if you are looking up to, grab a trophy or a title, you must, of course, have a gameplay that matches the level of your stronger opponent. So looking at this Chelsea and this victory, I still have a lot of questions about this guy Enzo Maresca right here, because he still does a lot of formation changes. Apart from formation changes, the gameplay, the tactical play in the pitch, still not still dancing up and down, and it's not actually very perfect. I find Chelsea struggling in every game, struggling to win every game. Of course, before this game they won 5-1, but they deserve to win Burnley 5-1 and also. And then you're gonna find them struggling here with Fulham. They struggled and then got a penalty, and then these 2 goals just coming not because of some too much pressure, but then they're still gonna find a way to make it a better team. And so I'm just gonna believe more on Chelsea in the 5th game. I want to talk about Manchester United versus Burnley. It was an absolute disgraceful game for Manchester United. I mean, nobody expected this. They just won the game 3-2, and they were absolutely celebrating, jubilating, dancing, jumping. It's so much bad that say Manchester United today winning against Burnley, that was just promoted from the Championship. And everyone is beating Burnley. I think he has received 3-0 from Tottenham Hotspur, and United struggled to win this team 3-2, and they were absolutely celebrating. What baffles me is that this guy right here has a lot of players that can actually do well. I mean, taking a look at Brian Buemo, Matheus Cunha, Bruno Fernandes, and all these players you've got, and you're gonna tell me that he cannot use this player to play very good football. Okay, let's talk about Bournemouth, which is just an average team, but they're doing so quite well. I mean, they didn't end the position. They didn't end the season last year in this kind of disgraceful way of Manchester United, 16, 17, whatever. But they don't got this much players that if you want to talk about, like, what are the names? You're just going to find Semenyo in Bournemouth. Talk about Newcastle. This time they still struggling. Talk about Aston Villa. Last time they were just struggling and playing with what they've got. No big name player in the squad, but they are doing absolutely very well. You talk about Nottingham Forest, who ended last season in a very good position. Comparing what this guy has with what Nottingham Forest had in last season is something that you cannot, absolutely give excuses right now. That and you've you've played over 40 games and you've won just 8 in Manchester United. You still need to find a solution for Manchester United. We cannot be celebrating. They cannot be celebrating a 3-2 victory over Burnley, who was just promoted from the Championship. And you've got a game coming here with Manchester City. And of course, I'm not saying Manchester City as well is very strong, because Pep Guardiola as well is facing a lot of challenges. But this is a game, I don't know how you're going to do it. But if absolutely Pep Guardiola is on his top form, so it's going to be definitely true that all the Manchester United fans, they know they are going home with 0 points on this day of the game. If Pep Guardiola is coming back to be on top form as well, because absolutely, actually right now, all the Manchesters are so sick right now. No consistency between two of them, no gameplay, no determination. I think the coaches are, I don't know, are actually sick. So these are the two games that are going to be coming up next between these two clubs. It's now very, very unpredictable who is going to win, because Pep Guardiola is sick, and as well, Manchester United, Ruben Amorim as well is sick also. Bryan Mbeumo, congratulations to him for turning up, and congratulations for Bruno Fernandes as well. At least the top 5 attacks of Manchester United have given us a goal after over 200 minutes of gameplay. They couldn't register a single goal, but now this last game, Bryan Mbeumo turning up and even being instrumental player of the match, and Bruno Fernandes as well turning up so very good. I think they played very well, but against Bournemouth winning this, I don't expect this celebration. I don't expect this much celebration from Manchester United. Now let's take a look at Sunderland, who just came in. Sunderland really didn't come here this season to play. First game beating, winning the first game 3-0, and now he struggled last Saturday to win Brentford 2-1, and he's grabbing 6 points so far. It's something very good for the promoted team, Sunderland. They've spent a lot of money signing players like Xhaka, Adingra, and they spend a lot of money, and so of course they deserve to have something. And Tottenham Hotspur, that has been so instrumental, so very good in playing this season as they started, even though Bournemouth is not a small team as well. But Tottenham, however, found himself losing all 3 points in an early goal from Bournemouth this last game that was on Saturday, and so Tottenham has dropped 3 points already, but they were actually showing some very good signs this season. Bournemouth is actually a very strong club since starting from last season, and of course going to move down right here to Everton against Everton versus Wolves. You see Everton, since on the second half of the last season, Everton was very well ready for any other opponent, and part of my predictions, I think this Wolf is not going to survive this Premier League this season. Wolf is absolutely very, very down before the Premier League. I don't think he's going to survive this season for Wolf. And Newcastle versus Leeds United. Newcastle versus Leeds. Newcastle drawing with Leeds. Leeds as well is one of the teams that I expect to stay in the Premier League from the promoted teams. I expect Leeds to stay. So they had a new draw with Newcastle, was good, and of course Newcastle absolutely really need more strikers, or a better strikers like Alexander Isak, who just left them for Liverpool. So we move on to Sunday matches to see. First of all, devastating loss to, of course, Pep Guardiola again. Same thing last season. Manchester City fans were confused, and they were complaining of the playing system. But then people talk about Rodri, who've got this Ballon d'Or. Some people say is best midfielder in the world, and of course Manchester City fans use that opportunity to say, okay, it's because we don't have Rodri, it's because we don't have the world best player in the pitch, and so that is why we're struggling last season. But now Pep Guardiola again still on the same tears, crying every game, because this time I don't know what is going to be the excuse, but he actually really needs to do something. I think Pep Guardiola is actually losing it in the Premier League. Pep Guardiola has lost the form. Pep Guardiola is, needs to review and change tactics and everything. Because right here, you see Pep Guardiola cannot do anything to win a game that is a simple game that he's supposed to win. I mean, Brighton is something so easy that with the players that Pep Guardiola has, Erling Haaland, all the signings, Omar Marmoush, and every other player in there are supposed to defeat Brighton, but absolutely lose to Brighton disgracefully. And this season is going to be the same thing for Pep Guardiola and for the City fans this coming season. Now let's take a look at the Nottingham Forest and West Ham, where West Ham retaliated his first 3-0 defeat in the opening day of the games by defeating Nottingham Forest, who is actually one of the strongest teams as well in the Premier League. But West Ham actually defeated them 3-0, or kudos for them. And Liverpool versus Arsenal, talk of the day, the game of the night, and of course, the game that everyone absolutely really needed to watch. However, these two teams both showed their resilience and of course their defensive skills, their playing tactics, and I love the way absolutely Arsenal opened up the game and played. This was really a game to watch. It was so interesting. But we talk about this team in the opening day before the league start. We compared actually this attack versus this attack. So this is what we could find. This is what Arsenal was looking up to. Or even though right now they've added, Eze Eberechi, to this side. But we actually talked about these players before the opening of the start of the Premier League this season, where these are going to be the guys, firing, and we compare to see that this attack as well so good. There was a lot of comparison between these two teams right here, but you can see that watching at the game that took place last Sunday, you could see absolutely clear that it's not easy for them to make a quick decision on scoring. It was not easy for either of the team. Mohamed Salah absolutely played, Ekiteke, Chiesa with, and of course Gakpo. Gakpo is very good this season, and of course we're gonna find these players as well who play Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke and Martinelli. But all of these teams shows that they're gonna be one of the best attacks in the Premier League this season. Arsenal here and Liverpool here, absolutely gonna be one of the best attacks this season. So when the two of them met, it wasn't easy for them to score a goal until this guy right here had that opportunity and changed the entire weather for Liverpool and changed the entire weather for in the Anfield. Absolutely crazy free kick. It was so good. If you look at the distance, the shot power, the technique behind that free kick was so good, and this guy absolutely gave them that 3 points. So Arsenal absolutely played very well, good defense as well as Liverpool, but this is the guy who changed the fate of the game and let the 3 points go to the side of the Liverpool. And we're going to finish up with Aston Villa that was hopefully defeated by Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is actually one strong team this season. Absolutely, very strong. They are proving it so much so that I think they want to be, somewhere very in a good position. Aston Villa absolutely dying down this season. For the past 2 seasons, they have been so good and threatening to opponents in the Premier League. But now I think they are really going down in this season, not doing very well. Now let's take a quick look at the La Liga. What happened in this weekend in the La Liga before the international break, where Deportivo Alaves versus Atletico Madrid 1-1. Atletico Madrid sinking again this season with all the money spent, with all the signings and everything, yet they have not been able to play a very good game, or they have not been able to grab comfortably some very vital points in the league. So Atletico Madrid this season is going down again, just showing to us that the title is still gonna be decided between Barcelona and Real Madrid, and we've got Real Oviedo as well beating Real Sociedad 1-0, and it's very important. It's very good for teams that are just promoted to come up and they pull up this kind of performance. After losing to Real Madrid, they come back to grab 3 points, which was very good. Sevilla defeating Girona. Sevilla as well was not a very good team last season. When we talk about La Liga, we talk about Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Sevilla for some years, but last season and this one, Sevilla was not really that good. And so if he's going to build up this season and step up, maybe to be the Sevilla we all know in the La Liga, is going to be very good. And I'll move down to the last game that was between Real Madrid and Mallorca, where of course Real Madrid continued their 100% victoire before the international break, grabbing all the 9 points in the 3 games played, beating Mallorca. Vinicius Junior proving it so much very well in the game, and it was a very interesting one that Real Madrid leads the game, and it's actually a very good threat to Barcelona this season, because they are the only 2 teams that need to decide on the title this season. And now we'll move to Sunday games in the La Liga, where we've got Celta de Vigo and Villarreal 1-1 draw, and Real Betis lose to Real Atletico Club. Atletico Club is absolutely one of the best teams right now in the La Liga team as well, winning all 3 games, and of course having all the 9 points is so far so sure for them that they are going for international break without any lose. And of course Espanyol beat Osasuna 1-0, and Real Vallecano happened to tie down Barcelona in a 1-1 draw, which was so devastating for the Barcelona fans. I mean, no, you cannot be expecting to be a title contender. You cannot be expecting, to looking up to challenging Real Madrid, and you're gonna come here to lose to teams like this, like Vallecano. And so it was very, very disappointing loss for Barcelona in this competition. And we're going to be talking about the international breaks where players have gone to their countrysides, to defend their countries for the upcoming World Cup that's going to be taking place in America. And so it's 282 days to go for this World Cup. And you're going to check us on our last video where we break down the tables and all what you need to know about the World Cup qualifications. How many teams have qualified so far, which teams do not have the hopes to qualify so far, and we're going to bring to you every news about that. See you on our next video.